Hey dumplings, it's Dave Desai, welcome back to my channel. Today I want to talk about two topics. One involving BTS and the infamous Grammy. I very briefly talked about this before. I just talked about BTS being at the Grammys, but I don't think I went into the full detail of what I think about BTS and the whole Grammy issue. Them not being able to win a Grammy, all that stuff. So I definitely want to get into that today. Also, Suga, who had disappointed his dad at one time. It's a moment that a lot of us can relate to, I feel. So let's jump into the tea. If you are new here and you're interested in this type of stuff, please make sure to hit the subscribe button and that notification bell so be notified anytime a new video drops. And if you're a hater, like to be the first to leave your hate comment, please make sure to hit the subscribe button and that notification bell also so you can be the first to do so. Now let's go. There's been a lot of issues surrounding BTS. There shouldn't be, but there is. One issue is them not winning a Grammy. A much deserved Grammy. And I could totally see if like BTS was like an upcoming artist. Then I could understand, I think a lot of armies could understand why they wouldn't win such a big award like the Grammy. Now this doesn't make much sense as a boy group like BTS, broken records that a lot of American singers have not broken yet. And those American singers have won Grammys. Basically, to give you some more backstory, BTS recently had a Grammy appearance. This was earlier this year. And they had a little performance at the Grammys. They also presented for the Grammys. And their performance, I put it in quotes because it wasn't really a performance. Nothing that I had ever seen. They didn't really do any original music and they didn't even really get a moment for themselves. Like especially for someone at BTS's level where they sell out stadiums in 0.3 seconds. I have never seen an artist at that caliber singing backup for other singers. I think this is the first time that's ever happened. Like an artist at that level not performing an original song. They performed Lil Nas's Old Town Road and they basically performed a backup for Lil Nas. I mean, it was a fun performance. I personally felt like I could barely hear BTS. It was very obvious that the Grammys knew that BTS would get views, so they wanted to put them in the award show somehow, but they didn't want to give them their own show. They wanted BTS on stage, but they didn't want BTS to sing their own song. I mean, you realize if BTS even had just one song on the show would get so many more views, right? This boils down to me a slight little bit of discrimination. And this discrimination goes very deep within the entertainment industry, especially for Asian men. So I'm not talking about one instance in particular. This is kind of a all-round thing. Not letting Asian men have a spotlight. But you know what? Let me give Grammys the benefit of the doubt. And maybe they feel like BTS is like a new upcoming artist. They don't really deserve a Grammy yet. If you check out the awards that BTS are eligible for, they are not eligible for Best New Artist. Meaning they are considered big artists here in America. They are considered established artists. They're considered veterans. Meaning Grammy knows that they're not new artists. So why not give them their own stage? I don't watch the Grammys anymore or any of these award shows really anymore just because it's unfair. I was talking to someone and they said that the Grammys wasn't about votes, which it clearly is, but they were saying it wasn't about votes. It was about prestige and it was about who is the most deserving. So then artists sometimes with the most votes won't win, but it'll go to someone who's like more deserving or their work is more artistic. And I'm like, okay, fine. I don't know if that's true, but fine. But then you have people who have really bad lyrics where it's just the same word over and over again 200 times, winning a Grammy. But then if you want to have BTS where their lyrics are good and also they're very, very popular and they have voting power, how come BTS didn't win anything either? Anywho, I'm rambling. Grammy at 2020 was a mess. BTS did not even receive one single nomination for anything, and any predictions for 2021 does not include BTS either. It actually has Super M in there, but not BTS. Now, BTS is eligible, according to Forbes, for Record and Song of the Year, and possibly Songwriter Award too. Now, these are definitely awards that BTS could have, and I don't think anyone would object if BTS got these awards. Just looking at their numbers, you can tell that they probably deserve something like this. If BTS were to win an award for songwriting, Taeyeon's Sweet Night could possibly win something. However, the song was put out in a Korean drama, and this is how it was introduced in the world. The drama wasn't for American audiences, so that already takes that song out of the running. So that probably would not get a nomination. And in fact, that song probably is not even on Grammy's radar. So this pretty much takes them out of the running for songwriter in general. So that leaves them with the other award, right? Song of the Year. It's very possible if we keep streaming and we keep buying their music that they could win something like this. But I can almost guarantee you that the moment that Grammys become to this point where they cannot ignore BTS success and they have to give BTS some sort of Grammy, a category like K-pop artist will appear. And then BTS will win in that category, which completely defeats the point of them even winning a Grammy because they weren't given a fair chance to compete with the other American artists. I think this was particularly done at the VMAs. I found that so shocking and dumb because when you have songs like Despacito and other kind of Spanish or foreign songs that have been at #1 for a long time, they get to compete with someone, let's say like Selena Gomez or whoever, right? But then when it comes to K-pop or BTS, it's like we'll put you in your own category. Is it because they think that BTS will beat American artists, and sometimes to a landslide? And I just want to bring up this kind of little side point. I think a lot of people don't understand why BTS ARMYs are really, really protective and loving and caring and very supportive of BTS. Now, they have a huge fan base because a lot of people obviously think their music is good, they're attractive, you know, whatever it is. There's also a lot of people like me who don't necessarily care about some of those things. While of course having good music and all that stuff, it keeps me coming back and wanting to listen to them and be entertained. For me, I rep BTS so hard because of representation. The fact that Asian people get to have representation right now. The only chance that I have one day for a director to look at me and say, oh, you're attractive enough to be the lead, because no matter how attractive I could be, I'm still going to get discriminated against to be a lead of a superhero movie or to be a lead of something. I am ugly compared to a lot of the other people that they normally see on TV. Period. That's just how it is. I've worked behind the stage in the entertainment industry for a while, and this is really what my experience is. So yes, I will stream BTS's music non-stop, and I will vote 50 times a day and make sure that they win by a landslide. For a lot of American artists who don't get it, who don't understand because they have never been oppressed in that way, I hope one day you hear this and it clicks for you. And you understand why ARMYs get so mad. And hopefully you'll be more careful and more sensitive about the things you say about BTS or the things you say about K-pop, because you understand that it's a very sensitive issue. It's not just music, it goes so much more deeper than that. And I am sure a lot of people feel that way. You guys can tell me and let me know. So I was so happy back in 2017 when I first saw some Asian faces at the Billboard Music Award. I was praying that they would stay in America and that there would finally be more of these faces here in America. Now, I found this Twitter thread, it was a short one, of JJ On Air, who is the host of iHeartRadio. He had something to say about BTS not winning, and this was kind of his reaction to it. He wrote this: "Hey BTS ARMY, I'm disappointed that BTS wasn't nominated for a Grammy as well, but remember, it's just trophy. Trophies, streaming numbers, sales, etc. are great, but what's important is that you enjoyed their music and their fan base continues to grow. Stay positive. These guys have made incredible progress since their first US single. More people know who they are than ever before, and each single gets higher and higher on radio charts. Let's look forward to the future and that Record of the Year nomination when it happens." I totally agree. BTS has a lot of winnings, and you can't take that away from them. Regardless of an award or a specific achievement or a specific prestige, I guess, none of that matters. An award literally doesn't mean anything. It doesn't do anything for your career. Just because you get a bunch of them doesn't mean that you get much more fans. Just because you don't get them doesn't mean that you're not a great singer. All it is that you'll just be able to say you have one. All the BTS boys have worked so hard to be where they are today. I am very proud and happy to say that. Suga was someone who was very unsure of BTS when he first started. He didn't know what he was going to do, and his parents weren't actually very supportive of him either. They were a bit scared for him. It was claimed and talked about by a lot of ARMYs that Suga's parents were not supportive and they didn't want him to pursue this career. I mean, he's Asian, he has Asian parents, what do you expect? When my mom found out I was doing YouTube, she almost fainted. Being a K-pop star is very, very scary. And parents know this. Being anything in the entertainment industry is scary. If you're successful, you can make a lot of money. If you're not successful, you can almost go in debt. I think it's so funny and interesting when people get mad at artists for doing things and then saying like, oh, they sold out. I hear that a lot about BTS too, that they sold out. I mean, I don't think that they did, but even if they did, this is their job. And notice people who say this have never worked in a corporate job, because when you do work for a company, you realize companies have to change and adapt to what people want in order for the company to stay relevant, just like a celebrity. And when society changes, you have to change to still have a career. Anywho, Suga's parents knew that K-pop idols and trainees struggle a lot. We all know this. And there was a lot of pressure on BTS in the beginning too. Their career, they didn't know if they were going to make it or not. They were in this tiny label, Big Hit at the time. Big Hit had no money to really support them, as well as a lot of the other labels would support their artists. So during this time, I would imagine Suga's depression was pretty bad. He wanted to be a performer, but he had no idea how to do this, if it'll work out, or what was going to happen. Now, even though this was the case, I have no doubt there was a concert where Suga saw his parents in the crowd. This was earlier this year, I believe, and he cried. He was so touched that his family was there, and of course finally supporting him. I wanted to see what people over on the Tweetster were saying about this. One person wrote, "Initially, Yoongi's parents were not very supportive of his career choice. However, when they later accepted his choice and were proud of him, this is his reaction when he saw his parents in the audience." This is so touching and heartwarming. I am so proud of him, and I am so glad that he can take a moment and he can enjoy his parents changing his mind about him, and he can enjoy his success. I'm a proud zaddy. It's sad to think that if he wasn't successful, maybe his parents wouldn't be as proud, but I have no reason to believe that that would be the case. I think his parents would still be proud. Anyway, let me know what you think about this and let me know what your thoughts are. Leave it down in the comment section down below. Give this video a thumbs up, subscribe if you haven't already, and I'm featuring this commentary. Thank you so much for leaving comments. As always, I do have a Patreon. If you want to go over and check out my Patreon, anything you can contribute over there really does help kind of give back to this channel and help me keep making videos on here. So I really do appreciate if you go over there and check that out. Anything you contribute really helps. You can also get exclusive content over there, such as music video reactions, performance reactions, ship reactions. You can even recommend things over there. Please make sure you check it out. Link in the top description down below. There's also 2 videos that will appear on the screen at the end of the video. So click on one of those. I'll see you over there. Bye.